are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease and let there be light. The Miami Marlins with a huge win today, 6-4 over the Cincinnati Reds. They still have a shot to keep the streak alive, which is at least a split in every series since the All-Star break. What a win it was. The first two games of the series dominated by the Reds, who have hit 17 home runs. Count them, 17 in the first 6 games against Miami this season, and really pumped to be here after this one as the Marlins look to even things up tomorrow and keep that streak alive. It's your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease at @JimGrease_ on social media. I want to thank you for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today, our episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. That's right, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Use code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100 with Prize Picks. That's right, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. What's up, baseball fan 31? Happy to have you with me again, man. It's been a while since we've seen you around these parts, but yeah, man, and we got Dolphins coming up in 2 days. How about that? Dolphins POSTCAST, Locked On Dolphins POSTCAST, Locked On Canes POSTCAST, myself, and Kyle Krabs and Alex Dono. We got the football covered in South Florida, baby. We are ready to go after this baseball season of our discontent. It is the season of our discontent, is it not? Now is the season of our discontent. Yeah, and I don't know why these lights aren't working. I'm going to have to, they're literally on me like floodlights, like they always are. And I do not understand why some days they're lighter than others. But, you see the lightness on the shirt there. But a big, big win for Miami today. Let's get into it. Man, oh man, Jake Burger with a big game for the Marlins, as well as Derek Hill with his first career grand slam. Miami wasting no time jumping on Andrew Abbott. He's allowed 21 home runs this year. Why not jump on him and get 2 in the first inning? Derek Hill with the grand slam following Jake Burger's solo shot. Burger gets the fish on the board. It's 5-0 at the end of 1 inning, and Valente Bellozo was valiant, to say the least, and gave him his best start, first win, right? A little over 5 innings pitched for him, 5 hits, no runs, and almost got a quality start, which would be 6 innings, and yeah, that would be dope. No Marlins pitcher's done that in over a month, but we will not be greedy. No, we won't. Jonah Bride, 2 hits, of course. Burger added a solo shot later for Miami. He has 19 homers. Low-key, those numbers going up. He had 34 a year ago. TJ Friedl, grand slam for the Reds, but with 2 on in the 9th inning, he popped out. A chance to tie the game, 2nd and 3rd. The Reds just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, by the way, and they had the bases loaded 3 times in this game. Now, Elly De La Cruz, who was 8 for 10, all-world best player in baseball type stuff the first 2 games with 2 home runs, 3 doubles, 5 ribbies, 5 runs scored, and his league-leading 58 stolen base for good measure. Had a 2-double game, a 2-homer game, and tonight, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He did walk and make it to third base, almost scored what would have been the run that got them within 1, but good job by Calvin Faucher, pitching out of the jam. You see it there in the description. 2 runners in the scoring position, 1 out in the 9th inning, and he was not able, or the Reds were not able, the Reds not able to push any runs across against him. And a great job by the Miami Marlins across the board. Now, there was a grand slam by Friedl in this game for Cincinnati. Obviously, that came in the 7th inning. So the 7th inning, not the best inning for Miami, and they were able to get out of that jam. But, yeah, Cronin was pitching for Miami, and just not a good one. But they were able to really get things going in this game. First inning was impressive. Burger with 1 out after Edwards grounded a shortstop. Xavier Edwards, and think about this dude. What a year he's having. What a year he's having. He did not reach base. It ended his streak at a lot of games, like 20-plus games. I don't say 21 consecutive games he reached base, and he did not reach base tonight. But all good things must come to an end. If he can qualify, which none of us who cover the team seem to think he will, get the number of at-bats. With that 374 average, he could qualify. Jonah Bride's at 364. He had the 2 hits today, but he won't get anywhere near the number of ABs. Jesus Sanchez facing the lefties now, and, he's going to have some growing pains. But Derek Hill's first career grand slam, Jake Berger, red hot in July and August, his first career two-homer game, first two-homer game of the second half of the season, I should say, for Jake Berger. Abbott got the loss to go to 9-9, even though he had 7 strikeouts. Bellozo's 1-1, 5 2/3, just 1 out shy of a quality start for Valente Bellozo for the Miami Marlins, and they go to 43-72, 23-36 at home. The Reds 55-59, 27-28 on the road. They wrap the series up tomorrow, 6:10 first pitch, and let's not forget, on Friday, the Padres come in. How about the Padres for 3 over the weekend? Dolphins, Falcons on Friday night. We got a big one weekend-wise for you here, Locked On Sports Miami, Locked On in general, the whole entire network. All the football shows hitting high gear across the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, and the Marlins with a monumental win tonight. Coming back from getting smoked, man. 18 runs in 2 games. You've given up 17 home runs in 6 games versus the Reds this season. They hit one tonight. Friedl with the salami. So they've hit one in every game against the Marlins this season, and they wrap up the season series tomorrow. But tonight it was the Marlins, 2 from Berger and 1 from Hill, going Yahtzee and hitting that long ball, man. But the Reds, 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and a great job by the Miami pitchers in those situations, minus Nardi, 2/3 of an inning, 2 earned runs on 2 hits. Same with Cronin, 2 earned runs on 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning, although Nardi did pitch himself out of a gnarly jam in the 7th. Tinoco and Faucher in the 8th, too. And then the 9th, man, Faucher had the wheels getting loose. They were coming loose in the 9th, but Faucher was able to get it done, man. Big inning for him, taking over that closer's role in the absence of Tanner Scott, one of the 17 million players traded by your Miami Marlins before the deadline. You know what I'm saying? So they pick up the win. They get a chance to split the series tomorrow. And when you look at overall what they've done since the All-Star break, right? Since the All-Star break, they've been good. They split with the Mets. They took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles, 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, right? They split with Tampa Bay 2 games. They split with the Braves 4 games. And now they have a chance to split with the Reds with the Padres coming in. Friday's game is at 7:10. And Saturday's at 4:10. Sunday's at 1:40. Then you go to Philly and New York back-to-back for those division games before coming home for Arizona and the Cubbies. So it's going to be a nice month of testing for these young players like the Stowers and Hill. And Hill's not young, but Hill's on his 3rd team. Who do you have as a player who you could bring back next year? Even a guy on a 1-year deal, right? Stowers, Hill, all these players. Dan Meyer's still out. Edwards, you know what I'm saying? Where are they going to be? Just where, oh, where will they be? What are we at here with the, here we go. Fortes is on the injured list, 10 days. Oh, Johnny Pereda, recalled from Jacksonville, okay. Okay. All right, there you have it. Your Miami Marlins. I'm looking for news here. We have news. Where's the news? A little good news today. Can't believe Ellie De La Cruz 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. The way he played and the way he hit the first 2 games of the series. Baseball is such a crazy game. This dude looks like, just unbeatable. You can't get him out. You can't get him out. He looks like Tony Gwynn. You know what I mean? Meets, who does he look like? Tony Gwynn meets Bryce Harper, meets Ricky Henderson over the first couple of games, and then he goes 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. What a humbling game. What a great game Major League Baseball is. Humbling game, great game, amazing game, incredible game. Day in and day out, we just love it. You are watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. 6-4 Marlins within 1 of keeping the streak alive since the All-Star break, at least splitting every series so far. Look at that rundown. 6-4, 5-run first for the Hill Grand Slam. Burger time with all the fixins. A couple of homers for Jake. The Bellozo Show. 5 2/3 for Valente Bellozo, his first win of his career, and the Marlins have not lost a series in the second half. I'll tell you why when we continue. Locked On Marlins postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. and I'm here to tell you about Prize Picks. I'm here for a lot more than that, but I right now am here to tell you about Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, over 5 million active members. That's right, Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. Let me tell you how. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. It's that simple. Get in on the daily action with your friends, your boys, your girls, and become part of the Prize Picks community today. Why? You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 just like that. Snap my fingers 3 times. Get in on the excitement and win up to 100 times your cash with the summer games on Prize Picks. Americans medaling all over the place. Look at the runners. Look at the gymnasts. Look at the basketball teams rolling along in Paris. Oui. Right there on Prize Picks. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you are locked in, and you can win a gold medal just like your favorite athletes in the summer games. Prize Picks available in more than 30 states across the country. Cali, Texas, Georgia. Oh, Georgia. They had the Summer Olympics there, 1996. All right, download the Prize Picks app today. Get in on the action. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That means you can win $100 more for you math majors out there. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app on the Locked On Podcast Network. Ooh, that's fun, talking about Prize Picks like that. Also want to thank you, as I always do. We're profusely grateful here on the network. Thank you for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen every day. For your second listen, or your first, and make us your second. We don't care. We don't mind whatever it is. We have no ego here. But the main thing is that you listen to Sully every day. Paul Sullivan, he provides national expertise with his trademark humor. Going to get you ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer. The pennant race is taking shape. Dodgers, Phillies, Orioles, Yankees, Indians. I said Indians. Guardians. Slap me. What am I going to do? Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully. That's what you're going to do. Who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB. Available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, rolling along, and we can take that down. Here we go. All right, we got some crazy comments popping in there. Baseball fan 31, they are, right? Baseball fan, you like this roster? I think they're all right. I think they're going to be all right, man. I mean, the Reds beat up on them, but, dude, that was Ellie De La Cruz being Bryce Harper meets Tony Gwynn meets Ricky Henderson meets everyone who ever dominated offensive baseball. 3 doubles, 2 homers, 5 ribbies, 5 runs, 8 for 10 in the first 2 games. And he was humbled tonight. What a game this is. You don't see it in any other sport. You know what I'm saying? In the NBA, you don't score 40 a game for 4 games and then score 10. You don't do it. In baseball, you run into the wrong pitcher on the wrong night. 8 for 10 in the first 2 games turns into 0 for 4 with 3. Count them. 3 strikeouts tonight for Ellie De La Cruz. And, that's kind of what happens when you run into a hot pitcher the next night. And Bellozo had that nibbler working on the outside corner. That slider was breaking everywhere tonight, man, and I really enjoyed watching him pitch. When he does this, I mean, we've seen flashes of this in his previous starts, right? But let's take the first inning, right? The sweeper was really going. They're calling it a sweeper, whatever you want to call it. He does not throw hard at all. You know, in the first 2 guys of this series, Munoz and Meyer, they throw gas, man. They throw the hard sinkers, the 4-seamers, the cutters, and they're up in the zone. Meyer was good last night, but he got a couple pitches up. Munoz wasn't. Everything was up. Even the sinker was breaking belt high. But, you know, not a lot of heat coming from Bellozo. Just kind of picking and painting and Greg Maddoxing. Yes, he was Greg Maddoxing. I said it. I went there. That's what he looked like tonight, man. Picasso on the corners, changing speeds, changing locations for Bellozo. And that's the kind of guy you look to. I mean, he and Munoz and Cabrera, who you'll see in the opener against the Padres after Kyle Tyler pitches tomorrow. These are the guys you're looking to see if they can make up the rotation next year. Alcantara coming off Tommy John. Who will be the cornerstone? Who will be the ace on next year's team? Luzardo probably not going to pitch again this year. Ryan Weathers, no news on him when he's coming back yet, although he's been cleared to play catch. 11 guys on the IL in the starting rotation this year. The bullpen's been lights out, although tonight they gave up 4. That doesn't happen all that often. That doesn't happen all that often when Cronin and Nardi in an inning and a third combined give up 4 hits and 4 earned runs. That just does not happen. Those two guys, you give them a mully on that tonight because they've been great all year long. But Bellozo was the one tonight. Tinoco, shout out to Tinoco. He's been really good for the Marlins. And then Faucher stepping into the Tanner Scott closer's role. And that's been dope. That's been really dope. White Sox fans going so crazy. Parade. They ended the losing streak at 21. The Phillies in 1961 lost 23 in a row. But the White Sox did break the American League record of the Orioles in 1988. Although they didn't break the NL record, which is the Major League record. Wouldn't matter if they broke the NL record because they're in the American League, except that it's the Major League record. Just explaining. People love to get you on technicalities these days. The burger bombs, baby. Burgers by themselves, though. Solo shots. The plain burger. Who doesn't love the plain burger? Maybe just a little cheese, right? The solo shot, little cheese on there, nothing else, right? Or no? Is it just plain, the solo shot? But burgers raking this month, this last 30 days or so. Jake Burger's hitting really well. I'm excited to see him finish the year. He was so bad they couldn't even trade him. He plays first and third base. Nobody wanted him. Josh Bell with the D-backs. And, you know, there's so many. I mean, I don't even want to. You know what? I wonder if you can tracking former Miami Marlins. Someone had to have put something up. How many? No. Transactions? No. The Marlins traded away a playoff team. Yeah, that was 2019. They just did it again. Well, no, they didn't. Well, last year's playoff team. They didn't trade them all. They traded 10 people. It's been a long one for the Marlins. Burger, definitely number one priority right now. Okay, yeah, I mean, he was miserable the first half of the year, but you put an asterisk on that from the oblique muscle. All of us have obliques when you turn this way and you strain it. Or those of you who don't sit around on couches for your whole entire lives, and I go to the gym and I box, and I'm always pulling the obliques. So as a hitter and a former player, I played at a decently high level, not a real high level, college ball, but you know what? You pull that oblique, you're not hitting anything. And that's what happened to Jake Burger earlier in the year. But Josh Bell and Puck in Arizona, Scott, Arise, and Hoeing in San Diego, you'll see them come in this weekend. Orioles got Rogers, Brazaban with the Mets. Let's see, who else? Jaguar with the Mariners. Who else am I missing? De La Cruz, DLC with the Pirates and Paul Skeens. Who else got the Marlins? I think I got like two more guys who I'm missing. Jazz with the Yankees for sure. Jazz Chisholm. Josh Bell was the other position player. I think I'm missing one pitcher, or am I? I might not be. I actually might not be missing one pitcher. They traded Rogers. No, I don't think I'm missing a pitcher that they got rid of. But it was a busy deadline for Miami, stocking the cupboards for a lot of teams as they get ready for the playoff push. And that's where Sully's going to have you covered on Locked On MLB, man. Locked On Sports Today as well. We are all over the pennant races. The summer games going into those gold medals. Look at the sprinters right now for Team USA. The basketball teams, the women have won 59 in a row. The men cruising on into that matchup against Serbia. Shout out Bam Adebayo. Shout out Big Bam. Killing it for Team USA. And we know that Locked On Heat's coming up later. But how about the Dolphins and the Canes coming up? Myself and Kyle and Alex, we're going to kill it for you. Dolphins getting going this Friday. Canes not till the 8th, but they play Florida. Come on. Florida. You ever see the Lions? You ever see the Jaguars jump out of from the brush? You ever see the Jaguars just jump down on top of those Gators and get them by the back of the brain, just rip them out of the water? You don't even need to do that when you have a hurricane. Just swirl that water up, lift those Gators up in the air, spin them around, and land them straight on their candy asses. That's what The Rock would say, and he's a hurricane, so there you go. I can say it. It's a direct quote. I can't get in trouble. We have to be happy the football's coming. The Marlins have been terrible all year, but the Dolphins and the Canes, when's the last time we had so much excitement heading into a football season? Oh, baby. And the Marlins getting us prime. They haven't lost a series since the All-Star break. Split with the Mets, split with the Braves, split with the Rays, who have owned them, right? 2 out of 3 from the O's, 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. And now they have a chance to split with these Reds tomorrow. Whatever Bellozo did, someone better be sitting with him, and that someone's Kyle Tyler. What'd you do against Ellie De La Cruz, man? To take him from 8 for 10 with 2 homers, 3 doubles, 5 ribbies, 5 runs, and a stolen base to 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. You are watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, at @JimGrease_ on social media. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. When we wrap up this show, why have the Marlins not lost a series in the second half? It might have something to do with the fact that they don't know any better. I'll explain when I come back. It's your Locked On Marlins postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, and you, being a Marlins fan, are a real fan. Your team every day on the Locked On Podcast Network. Man, I'm just like so much energy. People wonder at 52, how do you do it, Jim? What is wrong with you? Shut up, go away. People my age don't even want to hang out with me. I don't blame them. I'm just hyper, man. There's just somebody give this guy a tranquilizer. No way, man. I know one of the biggest keys to my fitness and my health and my energy at 52 is staying completely hydrated. And you start to learn some tricks of the trade, like numero uno, liquid IV. That is right. When watching baseball games or anything else in the South Florida summer, it is hot, it is humid, and you have to know what you're doing. It becomes a life hack after a while, right? With getting hydrated, electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, Liquid IV, because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. You thought I was going to say hot dogs and mustard. Come on, I will tell you what. No, all you need to do is tear, pour, live more. 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. It's clinically proven. You will be so hydrated you'll have energy like me. Maybe not like me, but close, I promise. The iconic summer flavor you're going to love, popsicle firecracker. Citrus-fueled lemon, lime, tart cherry, raspberry. I love that one. It's not my favorite, though. I love the pina colada, getting caught in the humidity. With lemon, lime, and acai berry, also optional with those flavors. You are going to love 3 times the extra electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. All the things you should be when you want to be healthy. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com on the Locked On Podcast Network. And one more time, thank you for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen today. It's such a big deal. I have to go like this for the whole time. No-go check. Oh, wow. So, typo. Now, go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully and whoever wrote this spot, who has it all covered every single day. You can find a link to Locked On MLB in the description, so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Shout out Sully. What a great job he does, man. Been watching that show myself. All right. Wrapping it up on the Locked On Podcast Network, your Locked On Marlins Postcast. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Let's see if they got the recap up after today's game. It just might have popped in. There it goes. Okay. There it is. Derek Hill's first career grand slam, and he mashed that ball 400 plus to right center. Andrew Abbott's a good pitcher to face when you're trying to break a losing streak. I mean, he strikes a lot of guys out, but he leaves a lot of balls up in the zone, and he gives up a ton of homers, 21 this season. As a matter of fact, look at my notes here. Yeah, what do we see? Yeah, TJ Friedl with the grand slam. Candelaria, 475 against the Marlins this year. They retired him on a grounder to second. Faucher did to end the game after he got Friedl to pop out. So those were the 2 most dangerous guys after De La Cruz, who walked in the 9th in the Reds lineup, but he walked with nobody on base in a 6-4 game. Can't beat you when it's 6-4 and he's the only guy on base. In fact, he didn't even try to steal second because why would you? You're down 2 and you take away the force. So there you go. But yeah, Derek Hill with a grand slam capped off a 5-run first for the Marlins. And that's one thing you love, right? You come out after getting bombed the first 2 games, giving up 18 runs, scoring a total of 5. And today, you throw a 5 spot on these guys in the bottom of the first. You throw a 5 spot with a grand slam from Derek Hill and a home run from Jake Burger. You hit the team that's hit 17 home runs against you in 6 games in the mouth in the first inning. 2 home runs, including a grand slam. It's 5-zip. You never relinquish the lead. You hit another home run later, and that's one of the things that I love about this team. Not only do you come out and hit him in the mouth, you also get a great performance from Valente Bellozo. Momentum is only as good as the next day's pitcher, and when that pitcher today was Valente Bellozo, we knew after an inning or 2 watching him work that the Marlins were in good hands tonight. Love the way they came back from those 2 games. Let's see if they can do it again tomorrow. Jake Burger is on fire. The bullpen gave up 4 today, but day in and day out, they've been phenomenal. They're going to need those guys a lot tomorrow with Kyle Tyler on the mound. He doesn't pitch more than 4 innings, maybe 5, but I doubt it. They haven't had a quality start in over a month. Why change that now? But the Marlins got that late run from Burger after Abbott settled down. So one more note from this game, Xavier Edwards on 0 for 4. His on-base streak was 23 games, not 21. That's a correction from earlier in the in the show. It had been the second longest streak in the majors behind the Phillies' Alec Boehm, who was at 24 games. Nick Fortes to the 10-day injured list. Johnny Pereira called up from AAA Jacksonville. Tomorrow, the series finale. Hunter Green, 8-4 with a 2.83. Pitching for the Reds against the Marlins. Kyle Tyler, 0-2 with a 5.27. The Reds a -180 favorite. The Marlins are at -110. The total at 7.5, -110 on both the over and the under. The Reds are a 66.4% favorite to win this game. It's supposed to be 88 degrees at Lone Depot Park for this series and season finale against the Reds, who have won 4 of 6 against the Marlins this season. I hope that's enough. Wow, we got a lot of comments in the chat. I hope that's enough. Thank you so much, Baseball Fan 31. By the way, I love you every day, here all the time. And yeah, medals, all the medals, baby. There you go. Home runs all around, and Berger we trust. And I'm telling you one thing. This is a decent team. Everybody's auditioning for a spot next year with the Marlins and maybe with someone else. So you have that with your Miami Marlins. But a nice job tonight that they did to bounce back. And I said it, right? You come out in the first inning, you hang the 5 spot after Bellozo gives you the 1-2-3. That 1-2-3 was huge, and the 5 spot was enormous. And they just took it from there, man. And the Reds are a tough team to put away, but you keep De La Cruz off those bases, and you can beat this team. You don't, and you really can't. It comes down to that, and today they did that. The Reds 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, had the bases loaded 3 times, only came through in those situations once. It was a grand slam. They have hit 17 homers in 6 games against Miami. So Tyler's got to keep the ball down tomorrow. And for Hunter Green, man, Hunter Green is nasty. He's nasty. 6'5", right-hander from Los Angeles, California. He's got 149 strikeouts in 130 innings, bro. Started 22 games, 83 hits. Dominating. He's projected at 214 Ks in 186 innings. That, I don't have to tell you, is elite. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard before we wrap it up. And we got the Angels and the Yankees. 5-2 Yankees in Game 1 of a makeup doubleheader. Game 2, the Yankees lose 8-2 to the Angels, so they split in the Bronx. The Padres, who come in here after the Reds finish up, they lead the Pirates 9-6. Tanner Scott is in the game right now in the bottom of the 10th inning in Pittsburgh, and I wonder if he's pitching. Let's see the game cast. I wonder if he's pitching to Brian De La Cruz. Now, this would be dope, right? Tanner Scott versus De La Cruz, who would be, where's he at? It's the bottom of the 10th in Pittsburgh. De La Cruz is not in the, I can't believe he has Monty Grandal from the U still there. So no De La Cruz in the lineup for the Pirates today, for the Schwartzbucklers. Let's see. Okay, so there you have it. Tanner Scott trying to nail that one down for the Pods who come in this weekend. Red Sox doubled up by the Royals 8-4. They're in the 8th inning in Kansas City. Royals with the 2nd best home record in the American League, low-key. Mets and Rockies 2-2 in the 7th inning. Bottom of the 3rd, Tigers and Mariners 2-zip Detroit. Bottom of the 1st in L.A., the 2 best teams in the National League. Dodgers 2, Phillies 1 there. The rest of these finals, Diamondbacks 7 and the Guardians 3. Let's see what Josh Bell did in this game, shall we, as we roll through. Josh Bell was 1 for 5 in this game. And I didn't see A.J. Puck there, although I didn't really look that hard. Twins and Cubs, 8-2 Cubbies the final. Rangers lose to the Astros 6-4. Who's been better than Houston since the 12-24 spot? The White Sox lose to the Athletics. They start a new streak, 3-2 the final there. And, Game 2, Diamondbacks beat the Guardians 5-3. So did they sweep them? Oh, the Diamondbacks sweep the Guardians. Look out. The Yankees and Orioles looking for the best record in the AL again. The Orioles beat the Blue Jays 7-3. They'll have it if the Yankees... No, they do have it because the Yankees split. Giants 7, Nationals 4. Braves lose to the Brewers 8-5. And the Cardinals 5-2 over the Tampa Bay Rays. All right. That is all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. You're Locked On Marlins postcast on your Wednesday. What a beautiful night it was in Miami. 6-4, the Marlins beat the Reds. They can keep the streak alive tomorrow. 6-10 first pitch, series finale, season finale. They can't win the season series against the Reds. Well, they have a chance to keep the streak alive. The Mets, they split. The Brewers, they took 2 out of 3. The Orioles, they took 2 out of 3. They split with the Rays. They split with the Braves. They have not lost a series since the All-Star break, and they have not lost a series since the trade deadline. Tomorrow, they look to make it another one against the Reds. It'll be Kyle Tyler against Hunter Green. We will be here right after the game with your Locked On Marlins Postcast. And I'll tell you what, one more time, want to thank you for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen every day. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts in. On YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, and Locked On MLB with Sully. Make sure you check that one out for your second listen every single day. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. We are